Hello here. So in this one, I'm going to teach you what's something that's very, very, very important for succeeding at trading. Probably the most important thing, and this is the main reason. I think there's two reasons why people lose money at trading. One, psychology, mindset, and two, like just flopping and groping. Usually they go hand in hand. Flopping and groping meaning, in my view, you're not really following a strategy. You don't have a strategy. You don't know what you're doing. You just don't know enough about technical analysis. You don't know enough about entering, exiting, that stuff, type of thing. You just don't know enough about it. And it's hard to win consistently not knowing enough about it, if not impossible to win consistently. But the more important thing you need to learn is that a lot of our success in life, I'd say 90% of it is determined by subconscious programming. That's the reason why if you grew up in a very rich family, you're probably going to be rich. It may look like a lot of people were handed down things, and some of them were, but they had that self-esteem, they had that good subconscious programming there when they were young, and they don't, what's the word I'm looking for, they don't sabotage themselves like I feel like a lot of people do. Like I feel like a lot of the middle class does. I feel like a lot of the poor class does. They kind of sabotage themselves when they try to do this. They get too nervous. They just, because you're going to get nervous, because like the thing is like this is something that this is the difference between spending 8 or 12 hours a day, probably on average probably 10 or 12 hours a day locked away in a cubicle or doing monotonous nonsense that you really don't want to do, as opposed to having freedom. And that's make or break almost. It's almost like getting out of prison, in a lot of ways. And some people may be offended by that. Some people may think that's controversial. I'm saying that. I mean, take it as you will. I think if you're watching a video like this, you kind of want some freedom in your life. You kind of want less stress. You kind of want, in this modern society with all the technology we have, you kind of think we all deserve freedom, and we do. This is all possible. We all can succeed at this. We all can be rich, and I think that's an important thing to have. That's an important thing to believe. That if you don't believe that, it's going to be harder and harder, like to succeed at this. It's going to be. Now, um, if you grew up, with someone telling you it's impossible to day trade, you need to work a job you hate to make money, all of these things, you're gonna probably self-sabotage yourself. I, for one, had that type of upbringing. It wasn't where I was really told that this was possible. In fact, I was into this, since I was probably 12 years old, even younger, maybe a little bit when I was a teenager, and everyone told me it was impossible. Everyone told me the only possible way to make money in the market is to have a 401k or IRA, the traditional type of things, invest in the S&P 500. And even back then, like even when I was 12 or 13 years old, that was during the Great Recession. Even people were negative about that. Were talking about just put all your money in cash, just give up on the market. So, I mean, crypto wasn't really around back then, but it's interesting. It's interesting to read about it, to think, what one man's treasure is another man's trash in a lot of ways. If you grew up in a family where, let's say, your parents day traded and did it successfully, I'm sure your beliefs about you being able to succeed at it are probably going to be a lot different than someone who grew up middle class or grew up poor. That's just facts. So, how do you solve this? Subconscious sabotage. First of all, you need to believe this is possible. If you have voices in your head that say it's impossible to make money day trading, or if you don't believe it's possible and you're just a hater or whatever, I mean, there's a lot of frustrated people. Maybe you lost a lot of money. You just don't think it's possible. You think the people who made it or just got lucky. These type of weird explanations. You don't think you're good enough. I mean, if you have those type of beliefs, you're probably not going to succeed. Like this video probably won't help you, or at least hopefully I'll help you, lead you in the right direction to change these beliefs. But if you have these beliefs here, it's going to be very, 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 very hard to succeed at this. You need to believe that you deserve this. You need to believe that you deserve the things. Like, I know Carl from the Moon, that popular, everyone probably knows of him by now. He's huge. And he always talks about like law of attraction and believing, that you just sort of don't say I want money, say I have this. And that's very powerful. You want to trick yourself, or not really trick yourself. You want to say that you deserve it. You want to say that you already have it. You want to say these things. Most of us, most of the thoughts we think, at least for me, how it usually is, and even to the extent now, are pretty negative thoughts. Our brains are basically designed to give you like the worst case scenario, and a lot of times they're designed to give you the worst possible case scenario. And what's that worst possible case scenario? You're visualizing yourself losing every penny in your account, liquidated. And the more you visualize that, the more likely it's going to happen. That's kind of just how things are in society. I mean, people could say, it's God's law, or maybe the naysayers would say, oh no, it's not. It's just coincidence. Just most people fail because they fail. It's just coincidence that they thought they would fail. They're just being stupid to think they would. I don't know, like whatever reason you have for it, like you got to visualize yourself making the money, visualize yourself getting that, and be excited, be fulfilled. You want to feel fulfilled beforehand. You want to feel like you already have it. I know it's hard. Like it sounds easy, but I know it's hard to kind of visualize this, because there's always one side of your brain that's going to be like, no, you don't deserve that. You don't have that. And you're going to, at least for me, you're going to visualize all the people in your life that screamed at you and told you, no, 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 it's not possible. No, you gotta live in hell. No, it depends what kind of upbringing you had. It could be different for you. I mean, if you don't have that, consider yourself lucky. Consider yourself way, way ahead of the crowd, way ahead of most people. So yeah. In terms of more about law of attraction, Dr. Bruce Lipton has a great video. It's like a recording of him in a podcast. It's all over YouTube. Type in like Dr. Bruce Lipton, like Reprogram Mind, or why rich stay rich, poor stay poor. It's a simple like 10-minute audio clip. He explains it very well. He doesn't have too many like ways, techniques to kind of improve this. Dr. Joe Dispenza gets more into that. You go look him up. He's complicated. Like even like I read one of his books and I had to go slow. Like it is complicated, the stuff he talks about. But I think it can be very helpful. And Naval Goddard, he's been dead for a while, but he's got some interesting stuff. I was looking into him too, on Reddit and stuff like that. There's a cool Reddit page, and it's some interesting things like revising. Revising. People are praying. It sounds ridiculous, but imagine you lose a trade. Revise that memory. Imagine you winning the trade. Imagine yourself doing the things that would have made that a winning trade. If you went long and it went down, revise that. Imagine you went short and made the money that you lost. I know. Sounds useless, sounds crazy. It's helped me, I think, and it's helped a lot of people. And you got to be unconventional. Like normal people fail at this. Like CryptoFace will tell you that. Everyone will tell you that. Normal people fail at this. So you can't be normal. You can't be the average person. You have to succeed above and beyond. And another thing you could do is obviously meditation and visualize the things you want. I always kind of take at least 15 20 minutes a day for that, some days even an hour for that, depending, and just feel like you have it, feel like you succeeded at it. And all of this is, you still need to know TA, you still need to know how to read the charts. This is just supplemental. This is, I'd say half of it is this, and then the other half is like knowing how to read the charts and all that type of, learning how to do it and all that type of stuff, which can take a while too. Even with Market Cipher, it's very simple, but it could take a while too to really get the hang of it. It took me some months. But another main thing is like I feel like when you win a trade, you get a big dopamine release. I feel like everyone does, and you feel like you could do this for a living. You feel like you can get rich, and it makes you addicted because like you think you're going to get the same outcome, and you're going to be looking at the charts for things that aren't really there to justify you putting in a trade where you shouldn't. A lot of this is patience. Like you can make. I mean, think about it this way. Like, if you have a good strategy, and I have, a few strategies where you could just set your phone up for notifications for when to trade, and you could not really look at the charts at all and just get, a good notification once or twice a week, put in a trade, and then, okay, watch it there and get more notifications, or you could even take profits ahead of time. And you can make money pretty consistently doing that, a lot of money, with just 2 or 3 trades a week, even one trade a week. sometimes. I mean, if you want to be, there are people, like I know there are people that do probably just have it set up and they do like one trade a week and they're making bank doing it. Like they're doing well. Like you don't need to study the charts all day. It gets to a point where it's just excessive. Think of it like kind of like lifting weights. Like it gets to a point where you're just going to like ruin your muscles at some point. They need times to recover. Like you need to have that type of discipline to wait. And you kind of just have to be calm and collected and just be very robotic. When you win, don't take that money aside, obviously, take the profits and don't get too full of yourself. Just be in the zone, trading in the zone, like the book. Like, oh, this is real good too. I'm gonna write this down. Actually, this is probably one of the best books, if not the best, books you can read. Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Basically, this teaches you how to think in terms of probability. So basically, the secret here, and we'll in the book is, it kind of goes over things I set up here, but here's how it works. Have a winning strategy. Whatever it is, a strategy. You could find strategies on YouTube. You could use my strategy. But really, I feel like the people really, 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 really succeed at this. They have a strategy that not too many people know about, and they're able to execute it in a very disciplined manner. And they have predetermined take profits, predetermined stop losses, and they know their risk ahead of time for every trade. That's what Mark Douglas talks about a lot. They know how much they would lose if they get stopped out, if the trade doesn't go right. And you basically always want to use stop losses. I feel like in the beginning people tend to not use stop losses because they think the trade will eventually go at some point to the way that they want it to go. That's a terrible strategy. That's a great way to get your entire account blown out. Like, don't do that. Please do not do that. Like, the only time you should do that, and this isn't really trading, just go on 1 or 2x leverage if it's something you're really positive about and confident won't drop 50%. But even then, like, I mean, I would not recommend that. It's almost like a DCA strategy at that point, kind of. I don't know, but don't do that. And a winning strategy that you create, like I said, that's going to work best. Have something that works well, and then when you have that strategy, when you have your risk predetermined out, when you have something that works, over an extended period of time, preferably. I mean, that's the issue. Sometimes the strategies could fail, and the main way they fail, I feel like, if it's too many people using them, because if too many people know about something, what happens? The opportunity ends. Like nothing lasts forever. Think logically. We're not all going to get rich. Only some of us are. The normies are not going to get rich. Only the very few are going to succeed at this and get rich. So the winning strategy you created will work the best. Find that strategy and maybe keep it a secret, honestly, at first. See if it works. Wait till you make a lot of money doing it, then share it with other people after you're done. Or never share it. Just keep it to yourself because it's such a great strategy. Step 3, succeed at this, make your money, retire early, enjoy your life, do all the things you want to do. I don't know, travel the world, get married, have kids, whatever. You succeeded at something almost everyone can't do. Don't rub it in anyone's face, just maybe teach people how to do it or whatever. Maybe try to help people, but succeed at that. So I use my strategy. It's been working well. I've made a killing on it the past week because, well, some luck. I mean, the market's been going way high. And the last thing I want to say in this is last thing I want to say is let the winners ride. So basically, you have a winning trade, you take profits. Never take the entire thing out. I mean, you see, if you watch Crypto Face Trade, he takes the entire thing out. When you're in a winning trade, I always leave a little bit in. Always leave, because anything can happen. Always leave like 10% in, even if it's gone up a crazy amount, and just let it ride, because it could go up substantially higher. And I feel like those trades, when I just left that 25%, 10% in after I locked in profits at my stop loss to entry point, those are the trades that I really made the most amount of money on. Those are trades, and they don't happen too much. Usually it's not as volatile. You usually only get this crazy volatility once a month, or so. But yeah, those are the main things. It's a lot of psychological stuff. But again, I mean, you need to know TA, you need to know the markets, you need to know other things too. But a lot of it is psychological. Do not overtrade. This is, this is the most important thing, really. Don't get addicted, don't overtrade. You don't always need to be in a trade. Once you win a trade, take a few days off. Even if it's a small one, just take a few days off. Just think about it. Orchestrate the market. Just watch the market. So I think that's pretty much the main thing I want to talk to you guys about. Right before my face is gone, but that's all right. Before I told you to go, I think I haven't made a video. I told you to go short somewhere around here. This would have been, I didn't give you the best entry point, but this would have been good. And then short, and then take profits here, lock in profits. And that's basically what I've done. In the short, I'm still long from, where am I long from? I'm long from all the way, whoa, down here about. So I'm still long. Took a lot of profits. Been adding and going in and out of my long. So it's basically what I've been doing. The market it's been nice because it's been so high, and you just love when it's going up. So that's the main thing right now. I'm looking to add more to my long position at some point. As soon as this VWAP on the 4-hour crosses up above the zero line, going to be really looking for that. We'll see what happens. I hope people are talking about 50K. I hope that happens. All right, guys.